Not bad.
Good enough.
Perfect.
Dramatic finish.
Combo. Perfect, good. Perfect, good. Perfect, good. Combo.
I don't know if I've ever used a DDR machine.
What?
Yeah.
You've been to like arcades and stuff. Like you had to have
Well,
stepped
yeah.
on one of those motherfuckers.
As a self-conscious teenager, I don't think I've been in any arcades as a way too confident adult. I think I've been on a DDR machine.
You've never been on like a shitty like mat DDR
I've been
thing
on a
that
mat,
like your
yes.
friends? Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that counts.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that does count. It's definitely not the same experience because yeah, those things fucking suck, but it is definitely I would say it counts.
Okay.
Same game, different experience.
Weird.
Meanwhile, me in my teenage years played a game called Jumpin' Jackpot at the arcade a lot.
Okay.
Which was where a digital jump rope would go around in a circle and you had to jump over it and it would get faster and faster and faster and faster. And if you made it all the way through the word jackpot, because that slowly filled up, then you got the jackpot of 300 tickets or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I think they
And
had
me
one
and
of
my
those
brother
at
and
the,
sister got pretty good at it.
I think they had one of those at like the Sunset Boulevard at the Fox Valleys.
Yeah.
Or Fox Valleys, just Fox Valley, Fox Cities,
Wait.
Fox Valleys. There's only one Fox Valley.
Wait, Fox Valley has a Sunset Boulevard too? That's fucking...
Well, I mean,
Precious.
the Fox Valley is like a region. Like Fox Valley isn't like a town.
okay, the Fox Cities have a Sunset Boulevard too. That's precious because,
Yeah.
you know, it's like Paris, Texas, or Hollywood, Florida, and it's like, no,
No,
we know what you're
Wait,
trying to
have
do.
You,
and
have you
no.
never heard of Sunset Boulevard, the like giant arcade thing?
Oh no, sorry, I thought. You
Oh
meant
no.
it was a street.
There isn't like a street that is the Sunset Boulevard. It is a giant arcade who derives its name from the famous Sunset Boulevard. But it is a. Or am I imagining? Was it Funset Boulevard? I think it may have been Funset Boulevard.
Oh,
Which city exactly? In Appleton?
I think Appleton. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a place called Funset Boulevard.
God damn it!
Appleton.
I referred to it as Sunset Boulevard for so long.
You just took the red pill, buddy.
Oh no.
You've been awoken to reality, and it is not a pretty place.
I mean, they're still open. They weren't destroyed by COVID, so that's nice.
Well,
That's
no,
the
of
silver
course,
lining.
Sunset Boulevard is an industry that can't be stopped.
There's a place in Burbank called Round One, which started, I think they were like, it's grand open. It's like this brand new crazy arcade, like bowling alley, like a really cool entertainment place that opened up right next door to us, and it was really cool, and we were looking forward to it. And they're like, big grand opening, everyone. Everyone, get ready. Because March 2020 is going to be the greatest month.
Oh my
We're going to have
God.
this crazy grand opening. And yeah, and then we all know what happened next. I think it maybe had like 2 days of operation before it shut down. It's alive. It made it. I don't fucking know how, but right now there's people going into Round One arcade and it's alive somehow.
I mean, there's a non-zero chance that was all funded with private seed money, and they were also in a position where it's like, I mean, this is still a sound investment. We can wait a year and a half. We can wait 2 years for this to start paying dividends. Maybe.
You gotta pay rent and shit though.
That's true. Yep.
Although that mall's kind of dying, so it might not be that pricey.
Yeah. That reminds me, a couple of weeks after the pandemic was like, everyone knew that this wasn't like a 2-week thing.
Yeah.
So, like a good like 3-ish months into the pandemic, I found an old newspaper that like Jade had gotten at some point and like put in a desk, and I found it and I was looking through it, and there's an article from before the pandemic, like a month before the pandemic, about this guy who had seen these craft bars, like bars where usually women go to like drink wine and do like arts and crafts and stuff, and so his dream was to start a Lego bar. And he finally got it underway. He was like, this is going to be the best. It's a space where adults go to drink beer with their friends and have a giant, like, just crevice of Lego pieces and then build Legos while they drink. And then fucking pandemic started. And it's an idea where you all have to just be touching the same grimy pieces of Lego. Yeah. So it was no chance to survive. And I looked it up. Yeah, like it didn't make it. It was really fucking sad.
I'm happy to tell all of you listeners, though, that we are all survivors on episode 144 of the Voluntary Viewing podcast, recorded on May 18th, 2021.
I feel like because you said that, one of us is going to get COVID tomorrow.
And that one of us is almost certainly Lucas, considering me and Andrew are fully vaccinated at this point. So you just put that evil on him, Andrew.
I mean, it's not going to be me, because I'm Lucas the writer, and I'm trying to sneak into Shadow Moses, but I'm double vaxxed up, and the clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting the guards. I got my second shot today.
Hey!
Yeah, you still got a couple weeks, though, before you're in the clear. So...
Also, I might die tomorrow if the Pfizer recoil is as sharp as what people say it is.
What time did you get it?
1 p.m.
I feel like you'd be feeling some symptoms by now if it was going to hit you real hard. Yeah, you might have like a headache and a sore arm tomorrow, but it seems like it starts same day.
Okay.
And then just gets worse when you wake up. So
yeah,
you might be decent. Keep chugging that water.
Consciousness usually makes everything hurt worse for me. Also on the podcast today, we have a man now coming from an undisclosed location in Los Angeles, California, Ryan Holtz.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I have internet now.
Woo!
No thanks to you, fucking Spectrum. Pieces of shit.
Name and
Ryan
names.
now has internet in the cave that he is operating out of as the base of operations for the Resistance. That is the undisclosed location.
And the fascist pig dogs over at Spectrum don't provide service to that. And in order to disrupt our glorious revolution, they tricked us. They pretended that they offered service and sold us a bill of goods. And then a technician came out and was like, "Oh, we don't service this location." And it was like, "Wait, what? You can do that? You can take my money and then not provide the service?"
Yeah,
I'm confused. So
that's like I called in. I'd like to order a pizza. Okay, I'll have a pepperoni pizza. Here's my credit card number. $20 just got taken out of my credit card. When will I see the pizza? Oh, you don't deliver to this location. What?
Well, it's more like, oh no, don't worry about it. We'll get you that pizza. Don't you worry. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Call a different person because your pizza's still not coming after an hour, and they're like, oh yeah, no. I'll help you. I'll help you with that 100%. Like we're gonna get this figured out. No problem. After about half an hour on the phone with them, they're like, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna send in our special pizza technician. They're not available until Saturday, but we'll get you that pizza on Saturday. And then the special pizza technician comes in and is like, oh yeah, we don't deliver here. And then you have to go to the pizza block down the street.
He drives to your apartment and says, we don't deliver here.
Right. So then you have to go to the other pizza joint down the street, and they say, well, the nearest time we can deliver a pizza is on Tuesday. And you say, well, I need pizza to survive by Monday because of the pandemic. And they're like, sorry? It's not really our fault.
Did they say somewhere that, oh yeah, we got this neighborhood, no problem?
I mean, no, but like my old apartment, which is like, I don't know, 4-minute drive away, offered Spectrum. And I went on their website because I went to AT&T's website and they do not have fiber for my specific area. They claim they're rolling it out, but they don't have it yet. So AT&T's pretty slow. Like right now I'm on 50 megabits per second, which is...
God damn, man.
That's real bad, Andrew.
Slumming it up.
Andrew, just because you're worse doesn't mean it's not bad. And so I was like, okay, cool. I'll just go back to Spectrum. They're fine, I guess. And then I signed up online. No red flags were raised. They were like, cool, we'll take your money. I went into the Spectrum store. They were like, cool, here's your kit. You're all good to go. We've checked your address. Everything's good. Called Spectrum support when it wasn't working. They were like, oh, weird. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Well, we can send a technician out. And then finally the technician came out 4 days later and was like, no, we don't service here. And I was like, there was like 4 steps where someone could have been like, wait, no, this doesn't work here. But it took that long.
Just roving gangs of ISPs controlling different parts of the city.
Yeah, they carve it up, man.
Ugh.
They carve it up like a Thanksgiving turkey. The gerrymandering is real.
Last but not least on the podcast, we have a man who is certified great at weddings, Andrew Clark.
Hello, I'm Andrew, and my fully vaccinated self, along with a select few of fully vaccinated others, committed wedding this weekend. I attended a friend's wedding where they served milk like it was wine. A person walked around while we were eating dinner with glasses of milk on a platter and bent down and asked if we would graciously accept a glass of milk. To which I said no.
Good call. That's, did you think it was like a White Russian or something? Like some sort of...
No, she came up behind me.
Oh.
I was eating, and she came up behind me, reached over my shoulder, and put the whole platter of milk in my face. And said, do you want this milk?
That's literally like a bit from the McPoyles on Always Sunny. Like,
I looked
straight
around.
up.
Some people said yeah. I'm like, am I crazy? Why the fuck are they serving milk? And they're like, that's a normal thing. That's a normal thing at weddings. And I asked around, and everyone else maintained it was normal. And I've been... Because I worked weddings. As my job in college. I've worked at probably about 36 weddings. Not a single one of them did we serve milk.
Were there a not insignificant number of children there? Like a platter's worth of milk for children?
No, there were like 3 kids.
Oh,
there was
boy.
one family that brought 3 kids, and that was it.
I mean, it's very Wisconsin.
Right.
Like, at least there's that. Milk at a wedding is very, very in line with what we know about the state.
It's one of the greatest traditions. It's, place the ring on the finger, link arms, drink from the other's glass of milk. You may now kiss the bride.
I mean, I know some people, like, despise milk, and the concept of drinking milk is, like, actively disgusting to them. I can do it with some meals. What was the meal, Andrew, if I may ask?
So it was buffet, but it was potatoes, steak, chicken, and vegan pad thai.
Okay, one of those things is not like the other, but
I mean, like they wanted a vegetarian option. I think it was like also gluten-free, just like covered all of the bases.
Right.
The shit dish. It's like your HM slave in Pokemon. Like you just put all the like catch-all bullshit in that one dish.
But dude, I mean,
with
pad thai of Pokemon.
Right. With steak and potatoes, I think a glass of milk could go. But something about being served on a platter.
That seems like it would have enough time to get close to room temperature, and I don't want to fuck with room temperature milk.
Yeah, that is a thing. I will say.
Yeah.
Ice cold glass of milk, like I can fuck with it in some situations. any time it gets even slightly above ice cold and like inches towards room temperature, it's like, ooh.
Oh.
And this is the crux of the milk debate, where every single person that I've talked to that grew up in Wisconsin, that is, that are like-minded individuals like us, they'll hear all of the milk slander online. People just talking mad shit about milk. And we'll all get together and say, can you believe this motherfucker over here talking shit about milk? Yeah, how dare they? Milk is great. We all grew up on milk. Have any of you had a glass of milk in the last 5 years? Hell no. No, I'm not drinking a fucking glass of milk. Are you crazy? No way. Everyone that's in this group, like, will defend milk vehemently, but no one is willing to drink it.
I didn't drink it in college because it was such a hassle. We had this socialist thing going on our first year in our apartment, where we had a list, a Google Doc of like groceries that we bought, and we were trying to be like a socialist utopia where everyone like used the communal groceries, and what did it in was milk. Like Jesus and Ian bought so much goddamn milk, and we're the only ones to drink it. And then you looked at the list at the end of the year, and conservatively about half of the money spent was spent on milk. I hadn't had a glass of milk all year.
Oh.
And it was just like, I think we have to like just say fuck it. And like Ian was pissed off because he had spent like, he was due to receive $200. I was due to receive like $100. I had never bought milk and had never drank it, but I was willing to be like, I think we need to just say fuck it, and like I guess it's just water under the bridge. But yeah, the next year we moved in with a very similar group of people, and the socialist utopia died, and we all had separate food. So
my last comment on the milk discourse is that having a glass of ice cold milk on a hot, humid Wisconsin summer night, that condensation, that milk condensation that can form on the glass is viscerally upsetting to me.
Oh.
I don't care for it.
Why? It's the same condensation.
You don't drink it.
Well, yeah, but you understand that like the condensation on a glass of milk is the same as a condensation on a glass of anything that is cold. It doesn't like draw out milk through the glass. It's just moisture in the air condensing because the glass is cold.
That's milk water.
Intellectually, I understand that, but as a kid, I thought that was milk water, and I can't get that wrongness out of my psyche every time I witness that happening.
You motherfuckers want to talk about milk water? My parents were big fans of iced milk. And, ooh Lord, so when that ice melted, you got milk water, man.
So you not drinking milk that was stored on ice, a glass of milk with ice put
ice
in it.
Cubes, with ice cubes that would slowly become more and more watered down. I did not do it. That was not a me thing. I never partook. I
will say, if you do that to cool the milk down and then you chug the milk so the ice doesn't have time to melt, it's fine.
Make milk ice cubes in the freezer. Pour milk into the little freezer ice cube things, and then when it melts, it will still just be milk.
Yeah. Huh.
I don't know, the act of pouring milk into an ice tray and putting it in the freezer is so fucked up to me.
It's a little bit cursed. That's a little bit cursed of an idea to do that. I will admit.
Oh, I love it all. I love the whiteness of all of that. But we have plenty to talk about in News of the Week. Following an unexpected surge in demand and a fight that almost ended in a shooting in Brookfield, Wisconsin, Target will no longer sell Pokemon and other trading cards in store.
Yeah. All trading cards. sports trading cards, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering and shit. It's all gone, baby.
What about NBA Top Shot? Is Target not selling that either?
Nobody is. What?
You bastards.
What if that was a thing? What if like the next NFT thing was literally just physical media that just had like a barcode or like a credit card chip on it, and that was the NFT?
That's the bit from the newest CEO college humor video, where his grandson, it's an old man is the bit, like talking about his brick and mortar just hardware store, and his grandson's trying to make it like a hardware experience, like an app, and they're like trying to sell it, and then like he's just like, what's a pop-up? And like his grandson's like, it's like a exclusive opening of like a physical location where they sell goods for a limited amount of time. He's like, what about like a long-term pop-up? And he's just like, wait, I think you're onto something. That's genius. Like, we could do a physical location. It could be permanently there. We could develop a community around this one location. Like,
stop tricking me into inventing things that already exist.
Yeah, that's that with NFTs that are physical.
What if you could have your Top Shot moment in something, I don't know, maybe the size of a credit card? You could open them in a pack of plastic and hand them out to other collectors in exchange for money, or maybe even other Top Shot moments. These card-like trading items could be the future of digital media.
Yeah.
I know what you're thinking. Physical object now. There are dangers that could happen there. They could be subjected to the elements. Yeah. Well, let me present you our exclusive Top Shot binder carrying case. Just slide those bad boys into there. You're good to go. Don't leave this out in the sun. Don't leave this in direct sunlight. But other than that, indestructible.
Yeah. And since we're talking about physical media, we no longer have the added security of blockchain. So now we've got Lloyds of London, who will insure your most expensive Top Shot physical moments. So if they are lost or stolen, you will be fully covered and recompensated. God damn it.
Oh, NFTs do suck, but people also definitely
did that
suck.
make the planning? Did that make the planning day? Oh, it didn't. I'm going to add it.
Oh, shit.
Never mind. Continue.
Okay. This is a little one. This one's just for me. Square Enix is going to announce a new Dragon Quest game this month. It better be 12, and it better be just filled with Selvandos. Every character in that game should just be the gayest man in the history of video games. I'll pay $60 for that. I'm down. I'm down for a 120-hour adventure in that environment.
Lucas is down to clown.
Fuck yeah. Okay, so this is weird. This is a lot. IGN posted and tweeted out an article with pretty inoffensive information on how to aid Palestinians after Iran recently bombed a building in Palestine. Organizations like
Israel. Sorry.
Yes. Sorry.
You said Iran, but I'm sure you meant Israel.
Israel, yes. Bombed a building there, just Doctors Without Borders, those kinds of informations. And that was really rad. That was cool that the generally safe and inoffensive IGN decided to use the cachet of its name, its audience, to try to help a group of people that are definitely suffering right now. That was pulled down, definitely by the owners of IGN, not the editorial staff. And since then, the staff have penned an open letter on Medium criticizing the site's owners' decisions to pull that article and tweet.
Yeah, and like there was a statement put out like when it was taken down, basically saying like, our bad, by asking you guys to donate to Palestine, we like made it seem like we were aligned with Palestine, and instead of being neutral, and we should have, we didn't say anything about how to donate to Israel.
The people winning?
Yeah.
The
Winning?
aggressors?
Is that what winning is?
This is not
Killing children is winning? Oh, boy.
I mean, this isn't even a war anymore. I don't think it's fair to characterize this as that, but if it is, this is so imbalanced. And I also just want to shout out that there was language in that letter from that second message from IGN that was something to the effect of, here at IGN, we always think of our shareholders and advertisers, and just fuck off with that. Come on.
Yeah. Well, and they also did the whole, like, oh, our bad, or something, like, our employees have reevaluated and blah, 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 and everyone was like, what are the odds that this is the same employees that posted the original tweet? Like, I'm going to go ahead and say the people that made the original statement very much support that original statement and don't regret it in the slightest. Are we about to delve into Israel-Palestine conflict corner?
We already talked about it a couple of times this week, but it's up.
But
it's
Ryan's
always a good
been in
time.
a cave, so yeah.
Okay, well, congratulations on emerging from your cave, Ryan. The Israeli-Palestine conflict
Still in the
is worse, like very much the same, but also worse.
I mean, you just have to look at the casualty numbers, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's at a certain point, it is not a war anymore. Like you can't be like, oh, they injured 3 people, we're gonna kill 300 of their people, and predominantly women and children. It's like, well,
One side
maybe
has
not great.
one side has a state-of-the-art missile defense system paid for and built by the U.S. government, and the other is living in what's described as an open-air prison.
Seems pretty fair to me.
So you've got groups of people that are not happy with their situation for obvious reasons, and whether you want to say, fighting back against Israel, like maybe if you want to say violence isn't the answer, then good for you, but they launch a couple of Scud missiles out of what is basically the back of a pickup truck, hooked up to an old Soviet rig, kind of in the direction of Israel. And then Israel will respond by laying waste to city blocks with airstrikes and artillery and missiles. Mm-hmm. And it's just, I think 10 people have died in Israel and almost 300 have died in Palestine. I mean, these are the quote-unquote official numbers. I'm sure it's way more than that. But yeah, it's not a war. It's the equivalent of, you see a soldier walking down the street and you throw a rock at him and he goes, ow, that hurts, and then he kills your whole family. And I say that because that's not just an allegory. That's something that happens there a lot.
Yeah, it's great.
Mm-hmm. And then you can, this is all without delving into the decades of what is, just an apartheid government and an ethnic cleanse of removing people from their own land and homes so that you can install your own people there, just effectively slowly erasing an entire population.
Yeah. Ask all the dead children, or no, sorry, explain to all the dead children how it's complicated or whatever is the viral tweet. Like, it's a complicated situation. It's like, cool. That doesn't necessarily mean it's not easy to understand that one side is clearly fucking up the other side right now in really morally reprehensible ways.
And IGN wasn't even saying, like, fuck Israel in this situation, which they
made
would have been accurate.
They made no comments about really what the situation was. It was just, people are suffering, donate to help, and then that was it. The most inoffensive, just clear-cut humanitarian effort thing ever. It'd be like if the Red Cross was like, we need blood to donate to people that are dying in Palestine. And then people said, well, what about Israel? Why aren't you donating as much blood there? Well, they don't need it.
Yeah.
Oh, not fucking great. But what is great, moving into television, we're getting the fucking Venture Bros movie. Back from the
Whoa.
dead. I think this might literally be 6 seasons and a movie.
Yeah, but that was not the prince that was promised for Venture Bros. That was Community. Did Community ever get a movie? Was that a thing?
No, they wanted it.
Yeah.
And they still do want it.
God, it would have to be a Where Are They Now kind of thing. Shit.
No, it wouldn't.
Oh,
You don't think so?
they can
Nah.
totally just
Okay.
pretend they're still in community college.
Well, I don't know about that. they can definitely have a good time. And
I mean, they
Fuck
made
it
the
up.
Wet Hot American Summer sequel or prequel thing like 20 years later and just have the same cast play the same people.
That's fair. That's okay. No, I am very much looking forward to this. I don't know if this is like the Quanzai the series gets, and if it's still technically canceled, or what the behind-the-scenes stuff for this is. But more Venture Bros content. I am pumped. I'm not pumped about this next thing though. And do you want to take us through it, Ryan?
hey, I heard y'all like NFTs.
Nice fucking titties.
What? No. I don't even
Continue
know
anyway.
what NFT stands for. Andrew, what is NFT?
tokens.
There you go. That's right. I knew that at one point and forgot it. Dan Harmon's making a new show for Fox, and apparently it's just going to be an NFT show. I don't.
How? I don't understand.
I don't know, Andrew.
When
They're
I-
going to make
when I
a normal TV show, but then you can also just buy NFTs, like with everything in the show. It's all going to be blockchain.
What the fuck?
Any art, like any character design, any catchphrase, anything, it'll all be an NFT
But okay,
that you
so
can buy and sell and trade.
here's the thing. I saw that headline and I assumed that meant that, you know, Dan Harmon's characters and, you know, shows that he's worked on, like things from that would basically have what would amount to merchandise, but with, you know, NFTs on blockchain. I'm like, okay, whatever. You want to buy your Rick Sanchez NFT or your, you know, what, Mr. Bulldops.
Oh boy.
Or I don't know.
Wow.
I-
Were you digging for a Community reference and you couldn't?
yeah, no, I was, and I realized that I'd only seen like 3 episodes of the show and couldn't get anything on there. Anyway, I kind of thought that's what it meant. I don't know if this is just, hey, we're making a show and then you can also buy NFTs of things in the show, or if there's something deeper going on here with blockchain that I don't fucking understand.
Yeah, they might be
They're
making.
pretty cryptic, but it seems like.
Oh, go ahead.
What? Yeah, they're pretty cryptic, but yeah, it seems like it will be like the equivalent of more like merch. Like it's just
Okay,
like
yeah.
you can buy gifts and buy
then
character art, and buy.
Yeah, I mean, then
Whatever the
that's
fuck.
whatever. Like, I'm sure you can get Rick and Morty NFTs. I just don't know if they're licensed or if it's just
I
people
believe-
that are making it on their own.
I believe you're describing Pocket Mortys.
Yeah, that thing.
So this
But-
hopefully won't be as bad as them making a 22-minute episode of a show, breaking that down to 5-second chunks, and then selling 264 non-fungible tokens to people.
I mean,
Hopefully.
they could do that.
Yeah, I know, because that's what I'm saying. This is either just a normal show, and then you can buy things related to it, in which case, whatever. Or they're doing something really fucking weird, and you're gonna have to, like, use blockchain in order to access the content of the show, and I don't really know how that
No.
works.
It's on Fox. Like
Yeah.
they gotta air the episodes. They can't make you
Yeah.
pay for a blockchain for the episode.
And that's the thing, is that then it's just a regular fucking show, and you can buy things. I mean, what's the difference between that and going on AdultSwim.com right now and buying a Rick and Morty mug? Like, who fucking cares?
It's very much in vogue right now to criticize NFTs for being very environmentally unfriendly. Like that is 100% the main criticism for NFTs is that it's bad for the environment, which I guess I don't know how you think physical merch gets around. Like that very much is not good for the environment either. But yeah, like that is 100% what people have glommed onto. I think most people are like Lucas and they just hate the concept of an NFT. And then they're looking for ways to justify hating that, which is fair enough. You know, like humans do that all the time. But yeah, that's the reality.
Even if they weren't terrible for the environment, they'd still be fucking stupid. It's my 2 cents.
And I think both are valid criticisms. if you just think it's fucking dumb, then okay. And if you don't like that, you know, the processing power in order to maintain the blockchain uses a lot of electricity and therefore is bad for the environment, okay, that's also cool. But I still want to get back to like how they're making it seem like this is some sort of big innovative thing, where it's like, I'm making a blockchain show. You're not making a blockchain show. You're making a show and then selling things on the blockchain related to the show. It's dumb.
Time will tell, although this absolutely sounds like a project that will die in development, so maybe it won't.
No, it's ordered to series, fam.
Fuck.
This is a show. This is happening. It got a straight to series order like a year ago. It's going. It's probably already written and voice acted. They just got to animate it at this point.
I never thought it would be Dan Harmon who would push us further into the darkest timeline, but here we are.
No, that sounds exactly right.
Yeah. Last up in the other category, guess what, nerds? Manga's cool now.
You keep using that word.
Why is manga
it means
cool?
What you think it means.
Why is manga cool, Lucas?
People on TikTok are into it, apparently. It's also selling really well.
Alt TikTok is not necessarily what's cool.
It's selling really well. Sales are up.
I see it's one of them was on the bestsellers list at places like Barnes and Noble, which I'm surprised are still in business. Like, so I don't know if that makes it cool. Yeah.
All I'm saying,
cool.
As King Weeb, I promise to be a fair and just ruler until any of you wrong me. In which case...
Titles like Tatsuki Fujimoto's dark fantasy series Chainsaw Man Volume 4 outpaced high-in-demand novels like the paperback version of Where the Crawdads Sing. Crawdads, for reference, was the #1 selling novel of 2020 and sold roughly 1.8 million units, but it still couldn't beat the sales of either Chainsaw Man or My Hero Academia Volume 27. And just... that whole paragraph sounds like just a bunch of made-up words to me.
Chainsaw Man isn't a fantasy, though, right? Like, that's not...
that's not the point here.
All I'm saying, Polygon, if you want somebody to write about Chainsaw Man, hit me up. Slide into my DMs.
Is there really no wish fulfillment in Chainsaw Man? Like, from what I've heard...
Oh, no.
I don't know, man. I think there's some cathartic wish fulfillment going on there. I can maybe agree with you that it's not like a fantasy genre show, but like if you're going with like a broader My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy type thing, type of fantasy, I could see an argument being made.
It's about a young boy who discovers powers that he has and then uses it to fight the forces of evil. I mean, that's
and it sounds like gets it on with a lot of people.
He tries. Also, I guess it is wish fulfillment in the sense that the character gets over his imposter syndrome by the end. That's a wish a lot of people have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like arguably the biggest wish of people in our generation.
Here's the thing about imposter syndrome, though. Some of us have to be imposters, right? Like,
You playing Among Us right now?
yeah, and I just mean, like, we can't all be, like, just really good and deserving of where we are. Some of us have to, like, not deserve it, right?
I found that those people are the types of people that don't have imposter syndrome and don't worry about it. They're very ignorantly, blissfully unaware of how ineffective they really are.
And maybe those standards are made up. Maybe this lofty ideal that you're trying to hold yourself to and maybe being held to by others is literally a dog. Like in Chainsaw Man.
I don't know. It's just sometimes I've heard people saying, like, oh man, I think I'm so bad at this. I have really bad I'm no good at X thing. I have really bad imposter syndrome. Like, maybe you don't. I think you're just bad at it.
Yeah, no, that's a real thing. Yeah, people can
I've never heard someone who's bad at their job being worried about being bad at their job. How about that? For me in my professional career and like college and you name it, it's the people that are very with going in with unearned white confidence that like I am so fucking good at this shit. Those are the ones that are not good at this. The people that are like constantly worrying about whether or not they're acceptable and everything like that are the ones that are putting in the effort to avoid being incompetent. I don't know. But what can you do?
We can move on to the next section, which, barring any memes, is gonna be the breakouts. So I have a couple here. Have either of you seen Trial of the Chicago 7?
No.
I haven't. I've heard a lot of like stuff about it, but
Okay.
I've not seen it.
In that case, I will start with that one. We can break up this with your guys' stuff. I'm sorry I put 3. I'm checking out a lot of stuff. I want to live in the world of Trial of the Chicago 7, which is to say, any universe created by Aaron Sorkin, any universe where every character is the smartest character in the room and constantly witty, and everybody is able to bounce off of each other in conversations in a way that just isn't even remotely possible in real life. But this movie is just liberal dad politics, just using a historical trial to say stuff about what was going on during the late stages, during the entirety of the Trump presidency, and it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah. No, it's competence porn. Speaking of imposter syndrome, like, I enjoy that type of material a lot because it is very refreshing to just see everyone who's very hyper competent just like fucking having duels of wit and fucking just like, oh man, I knew that you knew that I knew, so I made a counter move and that fucking bullshit. Like, it's very fulfilling.
And this is an Aaron Sorkin piece, so even characters who aren't writers are basically writers. But God, this movie ends on a note where they, as the course of this trial going on, the Chicago riots that happened prior to the Nixon presidency, and with the Vietnam War happening in the background, this ends with a moment where one of the guys on trial takes his moment to make a statement to the jury to read off all 5,000 names of Vietnam troops who were killed over the course of the trials procession. And it's one of those moments where, like, oh man, these guys and the fucking Nixon goons might have their differences, but we can all respect the troops, right? The people with the organization, with the leadership that is sending these troops over there to die, even they can, like, oh man, yep, we're in this together, actually. And also ignoring the fact that a couple of the hippies who are on trial definitely have complicated opinions about Vietnam soldiers, and maybe wouldn't be the most broken up about their death. Fuck. I'm sorry, I had to blow up about that for a second.
Go off, King.
Yeah.
God damn.
Aaron Sorkin, I love you. I wish you weren't stuck in the early aughts, though. Andrew. Somebody is still replaying Horizon, and now the Mommy Milkers game? What?
I'm going to kill myself. If you keep fucking... If everyone just... I don't know. The big lady Resident Evil 8 memes were funny for a little bit, and then they just got to be too much. But anyway, I started back up playing Horizon again. I stopped once I realized that you guys just, even though you said that we were all going to play through it at the same time, that both of you guys didn't really keep playing it.
You might have reached a little bit on our response to that. I think we both promised to check it out, but yeah.
But recently, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep playing through, and I'm gonna see how fast I can finish the game with my overwhelming force of super level God mode. Yeah,
cool.
It's still fun.
What's going on in Resident Evil 8? I'm very curious.
Ethan Winters gets hurt a lot. The man feels pain all the time. Also, not acted very convincingly. The voice actor he does kind of a mid job on the whole thing, but yeah, so far he's been shot several times, had half his hand bitten off, got hamstrung, and then got hooked to a ceiling through both hands and had to rip his hands straight through so that both of his hands were like in half, and then had to use like the magic healing juice that the game uses as a healing device to just go back to normal. Yeah, man has it bad.
How does it stack up to the opening hours of Resident Evil 7?
Resident Evil 7 so far is much scarier. Resident Evil 8 is scary. Like, it is a scary game. But, like, they give you guns and, like, ways to defend yourself and, like, throw you into, like, heavy combat situations where you're shooting, you know, a bunch of the monsters at once pretty quickly. Whereas Resident Evil 8... or Resident Evil 7, it's like 2 hours in the game before you really fight any of the monsters. And even then, it's like, oh shit, there's a monster in there. There's one of the enemies. I might just fucking die from this encounter. If there's 2 in there, I have no chance. I gotta go spend the next 20 minutes like trying to either find a way around them or getting enough firepower to take them out. And yeah, this one so far is just a lot more, like, combat involved. Still scary. Maybe not quite as atmospheric as, like, the swamps of Louisiana.
I have
bayou.
I have definitely heard that this one is campier than the previous game, and I hope you and Jade appreciate it. Hope you two enjoyed that. I definitely enjoyed the final season of Castlevania Season 4, which just fucking whipped. Just from start to finish. Just fucking nailing it. Ugh. There's a fucking berserk fight in this, which I really hope confirms that this studio is making a berserk anime after this, because they'd knock it out of the park.
What does that mean? There is a berserk fight in it. I know what berserk the anime and like manga is. I know what that is. What do you mean there is a berserk fight?
Just a giant person, in this case a vampire lady, in midnight black armor, with a sword that is, as big, as long and wide as their torso and legs, just fucking people up, just cutting them in half.
But that's just an anime thing. Like that's like. I'd say a good percentage of Japanese video games, TV shows, and manga have that in it. Is it specifically Berserk?
If you look up a screenshot of this scene and then look up any panel from Berserk, you'll be like, oh, I see what they're doing there. I see the homage. Homage. And then also there's just a fucking JoJo's fight. A character has basically a stand, which is funny because no one else in this universe has that. And it's fun. It's fun to see what life would be like if you just had a levitating himbo behind you, ready to give you a hand whenever you needed one.
Is that a motherfucking JoJo's reference?
It absolutely was. Castlevania loaded with JoJo's references. Season 4 was great. I see some people online saying that, oh man, I wish they were doing more of this, and I just, no. The characters in this show have been through enough. They deserve a break. It's fine. Ryan, what are you checking out? Have you been able to check anything out?
No, I've been in a cave.
Yay!
Yeah, no, I'm still in the process of moving, and the busiest time of year for us. Working on upfronts. So, yeah.
Single-handedly deciding what's on all of television. That's
me.
A weighty responsibility, but only you can bear it. Like Jesus Christ and the sins of mankind.
Yes, we're an oligopoly.
They've got Ryan hooked up to a series of supercomputers with like a helmet with a bunch of wires coming out of it. And he's just sitting there with his eyes rolled into the back of his head, going through cyberspace and swiping certain shows into, certain time slots, certain shows getting the can, certain shows getting greenlit. He's just, really doing it.
Nah, that's hot.
And then last for me from the breakouts, I'm sorry I'm talking so much. I got through the first two endings of Nier Replicant. So I think the plot of this game is that in 2003, a god that looked like a dragon showed up on Earth from a different dimension, killed a giant also from a different dimension, and then we just came in with some fucking fighter jets and blew the shit up out of that dragon, which turned out to be a mistake. It landed on Earth, made magic real, but then also did some biblical shit where for a while people would just turn into salt. Yeah. So then humanity's response to this was, we figured out how to separate humans from their souls. We're just going to do that, and then after this whole turn into salt stuff settles down, we're going to put the souls back in the bodies. Except the bodies developed sentience and new personalities. So that didn't really work, and then the different versions of people started killing each other, and yeah, it's sad. You might be playing as the bad guy in this entire game. A justified bad guy, but a bad guy.
Are we the baddies?
We are.
Do your helmets have skulls on them?
We wear blindfolds. I don't know. That's a thing from that game, right? I don't know anything about it.
The sequel. The gay skeleton boy does wear a blindfold before he turns into a skeleton. Yes. Also, I think I figured out why the anime titty girl in this game is just running around in negligee the entire time. And
you figured it out.
Yeah. Or the game kind of alludes to this, where she has an intersex condition. And so faces a lot of discrimination because of this, and personally does not think she has a lot going for her other than her looks. So then she is dressing this way as a kind of statement of, yeah, you guys might hate me, but you have to acknowledge that I'm a goddamn smoke show. At least that's my read on that.
Yes, if this was a real person, but once again, they go backwards, Lucas. They start at the conclusion and then find ways to justify it, so no.
For worst series, maybe. Nier,
But for a god-tier piece of media like Nier, Ryan, will you deny Nier?
This is not a god-tier piece of media. This game has some of the worst level and map design in any game I've ever played.
Shit.
Damn.
There's fast travel, but you need to talk to a guy to fast travel, and you can only go to like 4 spots, and everything you need to do is on the other side of the local map of those 4 spots. So I put 30 hours into this game. I think maybe 8 of them are spent just running from point A to point B.
It's like me in Assassin's Creed.
Yep.
There's fast travel in Assassin's Creed, and I say, fuck that shit. Like, I want to run around on some rooftops, kill some archers.
So that's the way that I played Horizon Zero Dawn the first time that I played. There is a fast travel system in Horizon. You need to basically spend resources to fast travel, and it's like you can hunt animals, like regular ass animals in that game too. So it's like animal skin, money, and wood, and it's supposed to like represent the resources you spend on the way along that trail. But so the first time I played through it, I refused to fast travel. I didn't fast travel a single time. I traveled the entire map on foot or on like robot. This time I'm just fast traveling all over the place. Yeah, it's a much different experience when you don't get to experience the world that they built for you. So appreciate it, Lucas. Appreciate this piece of shit that they made for you.
I'm trying to, but like in getting to the second ending, I definitely appreciated like being able to hear the basically mutated humans talk between themselves and have complete lives, and then I just show up and murder them. I appreciated that big sad. But also, it's just so much fucking running around.
Okay.
Big sad.
I'm going to say something.
Okay.
I remember, without getting into spoilers for The Last of Us 2, because I know Ryan still hasn't played that game.
Yeah, you better fucking not.
Yeah, no, like, without...
For some reason, you know it's coming out with the next gen version, man. I'm not going to do that shit.
Okay, whatever. But yeah, no, without getting into like any part of the plot at all in The Last of Us, I remember Lucas and a bunch of the other dudes on the internet when it was revealed that one of the features was that, like, yeah, the enemies that you fought and killed had, like, fully written out lives and characters and, like, spoke to each other and had names. It would, like, call out to each other, like, their names when the other one would go down and that sort of shit. And you all thought that was, like, really fucking stupid and was just supposed to, like, make the character feel guilty, and that was dumb. But now it's really cool that it's in an anime titty gay skeleton boy game.
Andrew, I'm just going to point to a calendar as my defense. Yes, this was cool and novel in 2010, but by 2020, a little played out.
The arguments were not, this is played out. It was, Oh, wow. Ooh, they're trying to make us feel bad. That's a dumb feature.
As a courtesy to Ryan, I'm not going to get into this. But I'm just seething over here. I am seething as we move into the group chat. Do we have anything to talk about?
Yeah, we're all playing Horizon Zero Dawn, right?
Oh, yeah, man. Can't wait to boot that up and then figure out where your fake dad went. That's where I'm at in the game. Gotta get some rabbits for a lady who only talks when she's praying.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to do that.
Well, if I don't have to do that, I might as well not do any of it.
Yeah. Just wander around. I mean, I haven't done anything since I killed that thingamabobber.
Mm.
I don't remember what's the Sawtooth. Is that it? Ooh, I remembered. I'm impressed with myself. Look, I got a new 4K TV.
Ooh,
Maybe I'll check it out.
Maybe
we'll see how it looks.
Is it rude to ask on air what a 4K TV sets you back nowadays?
Nowadays, it's like, what,
the one I got
$35?
The one I got was pretty nice, 55-inch. Apparently has like a really nice panel that like is good in brighter rooms, which is one of my main things because I like bright rooms. I don't like gaming in the dark and shit.
Yeah.
$500.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, not terrible.
Mm.
It's starting to, I think, get there. So,
is there any chance you in television, working in television, can write off buying a TV as a business expense on your taxes?
No.
Yeah, trying to expense your lazy boy that you watch your TV in.
I'm not self-employed. I'm sure that there is a
okay.
way. If you were a TV critic, you could find a way. But
I have found a way.
at the end of the day, yeah, at the end of the day,
yeah.
I would have to talk to my employer in order to get that covered and expensed. And I know how that conversation would go. It would just be laughter.
How am I supposed to watch the upcoming Three's Company remake if it's like in standard HD? What? No.
Yeah. 1080p on a 45-inch screen. That's not how the creators of Sanford and Sons reboot wanted us to consume.
Just name a show reboot.
Yeah. Hee Haw or whatever the fuck. Imagine a 2020 version or 2021 version of Hee Haw.
What was the premise of Hee Haw? I totally missed that.
Oh man, dude. Hee Haw was fucking legit. Look up some Hee Haw clips. Hee Haw was what passed for TV back in the day. It was basically just
this thing.
It was just joke delivery. Like, it was literally like you'd get a couple of quote unquote characters and they would sit in front of a fake, like a set, like a cornfield or some shit, and just tell like set up punchline jokes. And like they were country focused, like they were rural. And that was the bit. And then like it was almost like a variety show in that like it was kind of just jokes.
Okay. Huh.
So that would be some wild shit if you did that in 2021. Oh yeah, I guess they do say they'd call it a variety show. It was not a show.
I mean, I guess late night TV, late night with Stephen Colbert, etc., have kind of filled that cultural niche, right? Not exactly, but pretty much.
I don't know. I think it's just from like bygone, like a completely different era.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I don't think there's a modern cultural equivalent because it's just so fucking weird for what we know today.
Yeah, I guess it's like one of those things where like maybe you could say that show evolved into like just sketch comedy shows, but like they're definitely not the same thing.
Yeah. Huh. Weird.
Yeah.
the evolution of entertainment is an odd one. Thankfully, this was a great enough episode of the Voluntary Viewing podcast to balance out the oddness. If you enjoyed it, please let us know by liking, commenting, subscribing, etc. Check us out on Instagram and YouTube for highlight clips. Email us your business questions and opportunities to voluntaryviewing@gmail.com. We have a Patreon. Support us there, enjoying the likes of the terrific Tiffany Cole, Sucky Badger, and sensual Richard Nixon. Also, be sure to check out the Act Blue link in the description if you want to help a collection of great progressive causes. Follow us on Twitter at V2_podcast for updates, and follow me at Lucas the Writer on Twitter to keep up with all of my writing. Thank you all so much for listening on a Tuesday. This is a middle of the week treat now. You're welcome. And good luck out there.
Midweek treat.